Hi Hong, hi Nuni, hi Vanida.
Hi, how are you?
I'm
Hi,
good.
Mylene.
Hello. By the
Hello.
way, Vanida, I thought that the Lao people cannot come.
The LFN team cannot come, but I think
Farmers, the
there
young
is the
farmers.
farmers coming. Yeah,
Okay, okay,
that's
that's
what
great.
they told me.
Okay, that's great. Maybe I didn't I mean I can't remember the exact email, but I just remember Noy messaging me about them having an office meeting
Yeah,
today.
yeah, the LFN team, the
Okay,
FO teams, but I think the farmers can join. That's what they told me to come today.
okay, that's great.
Yeah.
So let's just wait for the rest of the people.
Okay.
Hi Krishna, good afternoon or good morning.
Hi, good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm fine. You are?
I'm good. I'm good.
Mm. Mm.
Hi, Milene.
Hello, how are you?
Thanks. I'm fine. You?
I thought you said you're traveling today.
I was, yes, I was, but I had to change my schedule, and therefore I am at home today.
Oh, okay.
Travel
Better
tomorrow.
for us.
It's better also for me because in the car, you know, it was a mountain route, and therefore I'm sure that the connection was not good. Therefore, in and out. Therefore, much better.
Yep. So we're just waiting for the other participants. I'm going to follow
Good.
up with them via email. But I
We
think,
have already some of them.
yeah, but not all countries are will be present. Some of them have already indicated that they're not available because the staff has to squeeze this in their schedule. So essentially, Kyrgyzstan and Bangladesh have already sent their
Kyrgyzstan.
apology.
Kyrgyzstan is a pity because they had a good plan.
Yeah,
a good
but
draft.
actually they're asking if they can do the pitch on another day, but I told them that maybe they could send their business plans instead because it might be almost the same as we did during the coaching sessions we're in. I mean, they
Let's
really have to write down. They
let's
really
let's
have
do like that.
Yeah, they
Let's do
really
like that.
have to write things down because that's the easiest way moving forward. Because if we keep doing sessions without really any tangible document, then
Yeah.
it's not.
Let's do like that. Those who cannot participate today can send their document in the next week or 2 weeks, and then we can provide them with some additional copies. Let's do like that.
Let me just send
Otherwise,
them.
it will be difficult to get them anyhow because they are busy. They have other work. So let's focus on today, and then we review the business.
Mylene, can you
Yes.
please assign me as interpreter?
Yes. Okay. I can assign people now as interpreters.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Vanida, if you could, can I ask a favor? If you could, follow up on the young farmer participants of LFN.
Yeah, I already text the LFN teams and they said that the farmer will come. I don't have the contact of the farmer, but they
Okay.
said that the farmer will participate.
Okay, that's great. Krishna, do you need me to assign you as an interpreter or?
No, I don't need it.
Okay, great. Let me just follow Junie and Leo as well. Because once they're in, we could actually more or less maybe start by 2:15.
Leo, yes, it's there. Hi, Leo. Hi, Leo.
So far we have representatives from India, Laos, and Vietnam.
India, Laos, and Vietnam. Yes.
I'm not Hope Cheya. The account with the name Hope Cheya. May I know um what country are you from?
Vâng, em nghe rồi chị ạ. Vâng. Dạ em nghe được ạ. Vâng, vâng.
Hi, Mel. Hi, Leo. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon or good morning to everyone.
Yes.
Hey, good afternoon.
So far we have representatives already from India, Laos, and Vietnam and the Philippines.
The
So
Philippines.
let's just wait for the others to come in. And we can start probably around 2:15 p.m. In the meantime, please feel free. Please feel free to use the chat box to say hello to each other. It has been quite a while since we last saw each other virtually. So please feel free to send hi, hello in the chat box.
Dạ đây em đang nghe đấy ạ. Vâng.
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, but I missed who I missed out on who said that. Who was talking? Okay, sorry. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Sorry for that. Okay, sorry for that. All right. So it's currently 2:07 in my clock. So let's just wait for the others to come in. Yes, okay. I'm actually in the English, I'm listening in the English channel right now, so I'm not sure if that's a consideration. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, let me just message other people. Okay, so let's give them more or less 5 to 6 minutes to join, and then we could start. Again, please feel free to use the chat box to say hello to each other. And if you have any questions, any burning questions now, please, you may take the floor. Okay, so well, we haven't started yet, but Joy from the Philippines asked what country or who will present first. So, of course, you want it to be full of suspense. So we're going to use the wheel of names, the wheel of fortune later to select which country would go first, second, third, and so on and so forth during the presentation. Okay? But so that means that everyone should be prepared and ready to do their pitches. And while waiting, let me just prepare my timer as well. Okay, last 2 minutes. All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and good morning or evening, wherever you are in this part of the world. So again, I am Mylene Makabuhay, and this is the fifth leg of our regional webinar series on agri-forest enterprise development for young farmers. So this will essentially be the end of this series, and what better way to end this regional webinar than to hear the enterprise ideas, the products that our young farmers have been developing or are planning to develop in the future, using the ideas, using the learnings that they have gained from the last 4 webinars and the coaching sessions that we have conducted since. When did we start? I think it was April, if I'm not mistaken. So I hope it has been a fruitful, 1 to 2 months for all of you. I myself have learned a lot, and I hope that you did too. And we will see that through the pitches that we will be hearing from today. So let me just quickly share my screen. So what are we gonna do today? So this webinar is very different compared to what we are used to. In the previous 4 webinars, it's usually Dario who is taking the lead in the discussion, giving or discussing some concepts, very important concepts, and also facilitating discussions and knowledge sharings from the participants from more or less 10 countries from Asia. So again, I hope that you've learned something from Dario and also from the other participants. But now it's different because it will be you guys who will take the lead. So what will happen is we will have a pitch. So why is a pitch important? So a pitch is important because it allows you to introduce your products. It allows you to introduce your enterprise to different stakeholders, most importantly, to investors or to other institutions that can provide technical or financial support for your enterprise. So in the past, we've discussed a lot of the challenges, a lot of the issues regarding starting or strengthening an enterprise, especially if you're a young farmer. But this time we are sort of, taking the lead because we're presenting what our ideas are, what our products are, and persuading these stakeholders to support us. So for this, since we only have, if I'm not mistaken, 4 countries right now, unfortunately, at least 2 countries, Bangladesh and Kyrgyzstan, have sent their regrets, and the others, I think, were busy. We only have 4 participants, so I changed the mechanics a bit. So here is what will happen. Each country will be given 5 minutes for the pitch. So I'm going to set a timer using my phone. So once you hear this sound, I'm not sure if you can hear it, but I will say time's up if you cannot hear it. Okay. Each country will be given 5 minutes. Once you hear the sound or once I tell you that time's up, that's the end. And essentially, what will be the scenario of the pitch? So imagine that you are pitching your products to your target market. You are pitching your products or your enterprise to your target market segment and to investors. So imagine us, me, Dario, Miss Esther, Leo, etc., to be your potential customers, your potential investors. In 5 minutes, how will you present your enterprise and products to us and persuade us to buy your products or persuade us to invest in your enterprise? So after the 5 minutes, the coaches and of course, the other participants from other countries can provide some feedback on how you could improve your pitch, so that once you do a real pitch to a real investor or to a real customer or client, it will be better or more succinct. So initially, the plan is to have the coaching or the feedbacking session after every 5 countries, but since there are only 4 countries here, we have some time to use. Okay, so how are we going to identify the order for the participants? We will do that through the Wheel of Fortune. So again, we have representatives from Vietnam, Laos, India, and the Philippines. So I will now, what do you call this? Roll the wheel of names, and the first one will be the first country to present. Okay. Let's see who's going to go first. Okay, let me write it down. All right. Philippines will go first. I hope you're ready. Okay, next. Okay, the second presenter is India. And okay, the third presenter is Laos, and the last presenter is Vietnam. Again, repeating the order of presentation. The first one is Philippines, second is India, third is Laos, and the last is Vietnam. So are there, before we start with the pitches, are there any questions? Please feel free to unmute yourself and take the floor, or you can put your questions in the chat box. Okay, let's check. No questions. It means that everyone is ready to do their pitches. So the first one is from the Philippines. For those that will do the pitch, if it's okay for you to turn on your video so that we could see your lovely faces, because you know when you're doing your pitch, it's also good to see how you project yourself. Okay, Miss Maylene, my presentation PowerPoint was in the email. Did you email it to me, Joy?
From to Ma'am Elise, Mamay.
Ah,
I earlier. I just an hour.
Mel, can you forward it to me, or do you want to be the one to share the screen?
Yes, because I am just using my phone, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Joy, I haven't received it. Your email.
Sige, I'll email it again, ma'am. Wait.
You can email it to me too. I'll put my email address in the chat box. Okay. Okay. So while we are waiting for the PowerPoint presentation, maybe Dario, Leo, or anyone can, give some motivational advice or speech to our participants so that they won't feel shy or they won't feel scared to speak.
Thank you, Millie. Well, definitely, no need to be shy at this stage. We are at the end, as Millie said, so it was a long process to get here, and therefore we are very curious now to see how you present. We know more or less, basically, your ideas because you have presented your proposals before. Now we want to see also how you can sell it. You can sell your idea. So please, definitely not be shy, and on the contrary.
Let me also, Maylin, let me also give
Yes,
some
please. Go ahead.
pep talk, pep talk to those presenters. Don't worry, there will be no right or wrong statements in this exercise. But what we will be trying to do is really to help you sharpen what you will be presenting so that it will cut the edge. It will have a cutting edge that will help you in really promoting what you are, your products or your business plans. Don't worry, we will, we will not tell you that what you have presented is wrong, but we will just probably help you enhance it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Leo and Dario, for the very encouraging speech. I have already received the Philippines presentation. So for the other participants, of course, you do not need to use a presentation. It's only that the Philippines opted to have one. So Joy, I'm going to share my screen now. And then feel free to start. And I will start my timer as well. Joy?
Yes.
Okay, go
I was
ahead.
seeing the screen. Wait.
Okay. It's still loading in your end.
Yeah. So, good afternoon, everyone. Hello. First of all, I am Joy Kagata from the Philippines, Young Farmer Facilitator from the Philippines, and I am very proud to present to you our business proposal, our business plan, the picture of our business proposal, and the title of it is Hog Fattening and Pork Tocino Production. So, Patanam Young Farmers Business Proposal for this June 2022. So, next slide, please. So as you can see, there's a picture of hogs and then a picture of pork tocino. So what is our project background? So as a young farmer here in the Philippines, we can see that we really are in the what do you call this poverty threshold, that we really need support from the government and from other institutions so that we can at least elevate our lives. So Young Farmers of Patanam Cooperative proposed a business expansion on its hog fattening project that was started in the year 2021. So with the increasing demand in the fresh meat products in the market, hog fattening is one of the viable enterprise that we can focus on. And to add value to the enterprise or to the product, we propose that not only to sell hogs or not only to sell to sell the or dispose the hogs, but also to make or to produce pork tocino for another value addition to the product. And based on the market trend here in the Philippines, we can see that the meat products gradually increases in prices of almost 60%. So way back 2020 on the pandemic or before the pandemic, the prices of meat products was only 160 per kilo, but pesos per kilo. But today, it goes to 280 pesos per kilo. So very feasible for a high income generation. So, and the young farmers need to engage in agripreneur activities so that we can enhance our skills and capabilities, just like in doing business, and to encourage ourselves in entrepreneurship, and of course to generate income for our to generate income. So this business is, we think that the very timely and very applicable in this time. So the next slide, please. So what are our objectives of this business? So as a young farmers are able to create an income generating business that will provide us the revenues and of course income. The next is we're able to raise good swine breeds that we can in the future could expand our business enterprise, and not only for hog fattening but also for hog raising enterprise, and of course not only production of meat tocino but also other kinds of pork or meat products that we can produce. And also we aim to become capacitated or to improve our participation in community development, of course. And it also would like to aim that the sponsor organization are able to maximize our capacity as a young farmers and prepare us for agri-entrepreneurship in the near future. And of course, we're able to add value proposition to the business that would diversify our products, not only monopolizing or what only focusing on one product, but also to diversify other products that enables us to increase our income and production. So the business also would like to have sustained, because in the near future it can be the income of the business can also can become a capital for another business for young farmers for sustainability. So that are those are our objectives. So next slide, please. And so the next slide is our market. How do we sell? How do we would like to sell our products? So basically, the products are to be sold per head or the hags itself. And then or we can also sell the products in kilos for the pork. And of course, another value addition to the product is to make or to produce tocino products out of the pork tocino out of the meat products. And our local buyers, of course, our local consumers are our local buyers in the community, and of course within the town or with neighboring towns, because actually in here in our area we have really have different neighboring towns that we can access to with our market. So the business would also like to engage in online buyers to add for value addition meat products like tocino. So we're not only focusing on the local market, but we can also use online platforms to sell our products, to make it more visible to our target consumers or market. And our sales channels would be those who have slaughterhouse, or the ones who have, what do you call that, slaughtered hogs or the pigs within the town, of course, within the community or within the barangay, and of course our online buyers. So the next slide, which is the product quality. So how do we ensure that our product is have a competitive advantage for our competitors? So in many occasions, we can see that customers reserve meat products before the day of the feast or the occasion. So this needs to be really fresh, or they say that on the day of the same day, the pig has been cutlet or slaughtered. So that's so to satisfy the need of our market, the business or our enterprise assures that the meat product is fresh and affordable, and the quality assures that the meat is not really is not prone to diseases or is not prone to virus, or that is chemical free. And also one of the competitive advantages that from other enterprise like ours is that the meat are secured coming from good swine of breed, healthy and organically grown. Because in this business where we would like to use the technology of babuyang walang amoy. So the babuyang walang amoy, we're being trained for this in the organic production in situ from TESDA, that we can actually produce kinds of hogs, or we can raise hogs that is not odorful or babuyang walang amoy. Not really that very odorful kinds of pig pens. So it is also it is also as an advantage that not only are going to sell the products, the one product, but we can also add value to it. So, and the last, so the revenues and the income of the product. I actually has a very simple calculations on this. So assumption, we have 5 heads of piglets that we would like to initial distribution to our young farmer beneficiaries. So that 5 heads would cost 17,500. And of course, and the start of implementation from within 3 to 4 months, the feeds, the marketing and other costs, the production cost of tocino would cost for 40,500. So the total capital would be 58,000, and we would like to ask for a request fund for 50,000 for funders of our business proposal, and we have our equity of 8,000. So the total capital or the total cost structure is 58,000. So as for the revenues, if we can dispose this product, we have the total of 100,000 for the hogs itself only, 100,000 for 3 to 4 months, and under 5,000 for the pork tocino production, a total of 105,000 revenues. And to less the cost of goods sold or the capital, and that is 58,000, our net income would be 47,000 in 3 to 4 months only. And if you multiply that for 1 year, 3 cycles, I mean, that would be 47,000 times 3, and that is how much? So that would be the income for a year. So I think that income would really have the big factor to diversify another project for our young farmers, and this would have the capital would be rolling, so rolling to other young farmers, so that not only 5 beneficiaries would be given, but also another 5, another 10, another 20. So that would be the case. So, and the return on investment could have at least 81%, I think, if I am good in calculations. So I think that would be all.
All right. Thank you very much, Joy. Let me look for the clap button. Okay. Thank you very much, Joy. And I hope that everyone was able to listen to Joy's presentation. So actually, in terms of time, we exceeded the 5-minute time limit, but we decided to just let Joy continue her very interesting presentation. But for Joy's information, the 5-minute mark was around the slide for the markets. Okay, so it was, you spent a lot of time at the beginning of your presentation. So now we move on to the feedbacking portion. So I suggest to the other participants that you listen so that you could take this in consideration for the next presenter. So we have Dario, Leo to to provide some feedback, I can provide feedback to, and if Miss Esther is available, she could provide feedback too. So yeah, maybe Dario and Leo, you could take the first tab.
Thank you, Milene. Well, yes, briefly, apart from the time exceeded, but that was not the major issue. But if we had 5 minutes only, probably there were some slides to reduce, to make more focus, like objectives. There were many objectives. Probably it would be better out of those to extract one general objective and a couple of specific objectives that can be presented to those who are listening to get it clear, because otherwise it takes too much to get the objective. The objectives, otherwise, furthermore, were addressing different categories of stakeholders: the donor, the donors, obviously the organization. Therefore, probably they should be categorized more. What is good there is the financial calculation, the economic calculations. So there is a clear chart. The return on investment should probably be recalculated according to the figure that I have seen fast, because there is, but I have to check it. But anyhow, they show a good economic result, and that is one of the key element, one of the key pieces of information that we should give to those who are listening. That is extremely important, and that is well done. So I was happy also when I reviewed your documents a few days ago. I saw that you had made a good economic and financial analysis. From that, perhaps we should extract, instead of presenting everything, we should extract those 2-3 figures that give those who are listening the precise information on the successful idea. In terms of strategy, it is important to stress the shift from pure production of raw materials and the commodity to the value addition. That is probably the main strategy that should come out from the presentation and from the slides. Therefore, if I had to suggest a new backbone of the presentation after the initial introduction on the idea, to stress the strategy, which is value addition, key information on how we are achieving that, and what we are achieving, which are the results in terms of market, a new, an extended range of customers, slaughterhouses and wholesalers, and also retailers, consumers, perhaps online sales. That is extremely important, and the economic and financial results. With a relatively small investment, we can have a good economic performance, which is related to the consistent with the major strategies of value addition and expanding the range of customers. So thank you very much. Very good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Dario. Leo.
Thank you, Dario. Thank you, Mylene. First of all, I'd like to I appreciate the presentation, because like in your chat message, it was only made in an hour, and it's quite comprehensive. So for the feedback, I will be taking the point of view of two parties. One will be the party as a market for your product, particularly for the processed food. And the other one is, since you are seeking a grant for this particular project, will be on the part of the investor. But in general, what should be addressed is the primary question, either what of the a question of the particular stakeholder that you are addressing to. So for them, you should answer the question, the WIFM question, or the WIFM question, or what's in it for me as a market. How will I be persuaded to buy your products over all of the products that are available in the market? So like tocino, for those who do not know tocino is a processed meat. It's a sweetened, rather sweet, and the color is red. That's how I would like to describe it. So if I were the market or your target market, I would be interested on how it is packaged, how will we, because in the market right now in the Philippines, the market, the packaging is about from 200 to 250 grams per pack. And also how will it be different from the other products in the market? You should now differentiate it in terms probably of to a certain extent you already did, but because of the quality. But perhaps you can also add in, because most people now are health conscious, some maybe like low preservatives or something like that. Or maybe you can counter the tagline of another product, which is made from young pork. That's why it's supposed to be tender. Those things are need to be considered in pitching for a client or a possible buyer. For the investors now, what will be important is what is the current thrust of the objectives of the investor? Will it be value addition? You should also know from the point of view of the investor, what are their objectives in providing grants? If the objective is more on increasing the income of young farmers, then you can spend more time or add more details to those things and put in some additional computations. If it is like for value addition, then again, you will now have to now project it in such a way that through time, you will now be producing lesser of the raw meat, but more of the processed meat. And just identify what would be the possible advantages for all of the for the implementers. That's all. Thank you. I hope
Very much,
I hope I was clear.
Leo. So
Yeah.
again, Leo said, when presenting to investors, when presenting to potential funders, the question is, what's in it for me? Okay, so you put your shoes, you put yourself, you put yourself in the shoes of your audience, and have a feel of what will make them interested in your enterprise or in your product. Remember, during the webinar, we said, if you're talking to a banker, okay, what does he or she want to hear from you? He or she wants to hear what, of course, why your product, what sets your product apart from other products in the market, and two, how are you able to return his or her investment in X amount of time. If you're talking to a customer, maybe a huge distributor, then what's in it for them? Maybe you tell them that this will be a fast-moving product because this and this are the characteristics that set it apart from all of the products that are already existing in the market. But yeah, thank you for that, Leo. For me, I wrote it down. First is the pros. What I really like about the pitch, number one, it's very lively. So thank you, Joy, because her intonation, the way she speaks, the way she presents herself, it's very enjoyable to watch or listen to. Okay? Because if you're very monotonous, if you're very monotonous and you're
Right.
talking like this, hello, my product is blah, blah, then your audience might feel a little bit sleepy and they might not be they might not give you the attention that is needed. Second, they have a very clear idea of what they want to do. Okay? So essentially, you know, I mean, at the end of the pitch, you know that they want to produce pork tocino. Okay? It's very clear. And third, they were able to enumerate the economic, the financial side of it, and of course, the impact and so on. So what I think can be done to improve? Number one, why don't we start with developing a very catchy name to your product, so that when you introduce your product, you say, good morning, I would like to tell you about this amazing product, blah, I mean, I don't know, the best pork tocino or something like that. Okay, so a catchy name. So start thinking about it, because when you say, of course, it's a hog fattening and pork preservation project and so on and so forth, it's very long, and I mean, maybe your audience have already, you know, listened to, you know, a dozen of presenters with the same project and so on. So what will make them remember your product or remember your enterprise? So maybe we could start with a catchy name. And then again, if you have 5 minutes, maybe you could start with your product, what sets it apart from your stakeholder, just what Dario and Leo said. What are the other benefits, not just to the stakeholder, but to the community? But when you present it, because when Joy was presenting, it's on the third person. So for example, in the objective, she said, the young farmers will benefit this, or the young farmers will benefit this, or the product, and so on. How about you say we? How about you say our product, and so on, or the customer, or you could, if you're referring to the customer, instead of saying the customer, you say you, so that you make it more, you make the interrelation, you make the relationships more clear, and so on. And also you show that this is not just a project, but this is, you know, your idea. It's something that you own. So maybe just the language, well, what I was saying is that maybe the language could be improved. Ayan, I think that's it. that's all of the comments that I have. Again, congratulations, Joy, and the rest of the members of your cooperative, and yeah, this is a good start to the pitch, and I'm so excited to hear the pitch from the others, from the other countries. So thank you again. Clap icon. And now we move on to who's the next? India. Sorry. Before we move on to India, maybe Joy has some, you know, reaction to the feedbacks given.
Yes, actually, thank you for that comments now. But we are actually seeing those, like, what is our competitive advantage for those who already have production, tocino production in the market, and of course those our target markets. No, so what we are aiming is that actually the very first is to encourage or to highlight our babuyang walang amoy, which is as I said earlier, that is chemical free for that. So that could actually help somehow when we say to our clients or to our customers that you can buy our meat products, you can buy our tocino because this comes from organically grown hogs or raised hogs or pigs, something like that. So actually we're seeing on those, and thank you for that. That would be all.
Yeah, so yes, so if you want to emphasize that your pork tocino is well, I don't know how to translate that to English, but essentially your pork has no smell. It's fresh. Yes, fresh pork something, then maybe you start with that because that's the one that sets it apart from the other. So thank you very much, Joy. Now we move on to the next presenter. There is yes. Okay, sure. I was about to say that Vietnam will go first because India agreed. Okay, so our next presenter is from Vietnam. So for English speakers, please
Rất là
go
cảm
to
ơn
the
kênh
channel.
trình bày trước. Xin phép là em xin phép được trình bày trước, của em cũng không chuẩn bị được cái slide để trình chiếu và chia sẻ trên màn hình. Tuy nhiên thì em xin phép được trình bày sơ thảo về qua một số các sản phẩm của hợp tác xã của chúng em ạ. Và đối với hợp tác xã của chúng em thì hiện nay đang trà khô nhung. Đây là cái sản phẩm trà khô nhung của chúng em ạ. Cái sản phẩm này là sản phẩm thảo dược. Thì cái sản phẩm này chúng em đã chế biến thành trà, và cái thành phần chủ yếu trong cái lá khôi này đó là cái thành phần đó là tanin và glycosid. Glycosid là nó có tác dụng rất là tốt đối với những cái người mà bị bệnh dạ dày. Thì thường là ở đây thì chúng em cũng đã bổ sung thêm các cái sản phẩm phụ như là đối với lại cam thảo hoặc là một số các cái thảo dược khác ở trong này, thì nó dễ tiện dụng cho cái người sử dụng khi mà uống trà. Đối với khi mà quý vị có thể mua cái sản phẩm trà của chúng em đây thì nó rất là tiện dụng trong cái việc sử dụng cũng như là cái việc chữa bệnh của từng người đối với lại những người mà bị bệnh liên quan đến cái dạ dày. Và cái sản phẩm tiếp theo của em đó là cái sản phẩm, ngoài cái sản phẩm quế ra thì bọn em có thể xuất sản phẩm quế, thì là hiện nay thì cũng có rất là nhiều các cái nước đang là nhập khẩu của các cái sản phẩm quế của chúng em. Thì quế thì chúng em chủ yếu là được nhập ở các cái nước có xứ lạnh, có mùa đông kéo dài ấy, thì người sử dụng rất là nhiều. Và ngoài ra thì chúng em còn chế biến ra các cái sản phẩm như là đồ thủ công mỹ nghệ như thế này. Đây là cái sản phẩm này hoàn toàn bằng vỏ quế ạ. Nó có mùi rất là thơm. Đấy. Cái này thì cũng có thể là xuất khẩu được đối với lại cái sản phẩm vỏ quế của chúng em này. Ngoài ra thì các cái sản phẩm khác như là hộp này là chúng em để đựng cái giấy khăn ăn ấy, khăn ăn ấy, nó rất là thơm luôn ạ. Thế cho nên là nếu như mà em được đầu tư hoặc là được kết nối với lại khách hàng thì cũng rất là tuyệt vời, bởi vì là cái tác dụng của quế thì hiện nay thì chúng em biết được nó có rất là nhiều các tác dụng, như là trong chăn nuôi cũng có, trong làm đẹp, trong gia vị và trong các cái khẩu phần ăn của những người phương Tây cũng như là người ở trong nước của chúng em. Thì các cái khách hàng cũng như là muốn được đầu tư thêm về công nghệ cũng như là cái công nghệ chế biến từng hai cái sản phẩm này. Các anh các chị có thể nhìn trực tiếp ở trên màn hình, em đang là có cái đồi quế ở ngay cạnh đây đó. Đấy thì là đây là cái sản phẩm quế của chúng em, ứng dụng rất hết sức là tự nhiên và được sản xuất hoàn toàn hữu cơ luôn. Thì nếu như mà quý vị có thể test cái sản phẩm cái làm sao đây đủ được yêu cầu của quý vị, thì chúng em cũng sẽ xuất khẩu và bán hàng đối với lại sản phẩm của chúng em. Thì thực tế ra là những cái sản phẩm này là làm ra được nó rất là giảm về cái chi phí lao động, bởi vì là lao động ở trường bên chúng em cũng rất là rẻ, cho nên là cái sản phẩm mà xuất ra thì cũng rất là rẻ, cho nên là nếu như mà quý vị có thể lấy với số lượng lớn thì là chúng em có thể hoàn toàn có thể đáp ứng được, bởi vì là từ cái nhân công cũng như là từ cái việc sản xuất của chúng em có thể đảm bảo được không nơi nào rẻ hơn ở chúng em ạ. Xin hết ạ.
Thank you very much, Tien. Actually, Tien still has 1 minute, but he was able to finish everything for 4 minutes, in 4 minutes. So let me just, sorry, I keep on trying to find where the clap button is. So congratulations, Tien. That was a very succinct pitch. Thank you very much for that. Now we move on to the feedback from Dario, Leo, and the rest of the people. Of course, our participants, if you have any comments, please feel free to do so, to put it in the chat box. So, Dario, I give you the floor.
Thank you, Milin. Thank you very much, Vietnam, for the presentation. Well, you managed, as Milin said, to stay in 4 minutes, and you gave us the main information. So what it is about. Also, the way of presenting was good, with a lot of passion and very active. It was good. So I liked that very much. Interesting to the information on the different use of the cinnamon. That is very valuable information. Well, in 1 minute more, probably we might have told more on the economic results, on what we are achieving in terms of economy and finance, which investment we need, the technology. That is probably the information that I would have had more. But what you said, it's definitely the most important, the initial information. Then we should complete it with more details on the economy of the business, the customers, some more details on the customer should have been interesting for us. By the way, thank you very much. Thank you. 4 minutes, you did well.
Thank you very much, Dario. Leo, what do you think?
Sorry, there may be some background noise because it's raining very hard in my place. But thank you for the Vietnam team. Actually, I appreciated the presentation of the product. So it gives from the point of view of a buyer, it really helps very much to see the actual product and see the packaging that go with it. Also, it's good that you have mentioned the benefits of both cinnamon and also the tea. But perhaps what you can add more to what are the sample ailments that these particular products will help alleviate. So also, it's good that you mentioned that there are other buyers, because that's in marketing or in selling, there's this that perhaps bandwagon effect. If you mention that your products are being patronized by other people or perhaps by other countries, that would help. It would be a good image for your product. For the tissue holder, I think it's cinnamon scented tissue holder. I think there's one thing perhaps that you could do is to spend more time on your major product. And for the other peripheral products, you can just add it now to the page or to the presentation. From the point of view of the investor, it's good that you mentioned the technology that is being used and the background, as you mentioned, that there are a lot of cinnamon trees there. But perhaps what you can also add is to identify the particular benefits of the farmers that will be involved in this project. So overall, I think it was good, but I also echo what Dario said, that it might be good to also to have presented some economic analysis, a little of it, so that perhaps from the point of view of the investors and the point of view of the beneficiaries, there will be some buy-ins, possible buy-ins. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you very much, Leo. So actually, Leo and Dario pretty much covered everything, but I have just a few feedback. So first, of course, again, congratulations, Tien, for the very wonderful pitch done in 4 minutes. It contains almost all of the information that you need to present or to persuade, to present your product, which is cinnamon and other products, related products. I also want to say that your non-verbal communication are really good. So the facial expression, you could see that even if this is an online meeting, Tien's presence is there. He's very lively in his presentation. And also there are props that was used, the actual product. So actually in the future, once you're face to face with your audience, may it be an investor or a customer, of course it's good if you bring a copy of your product. It's also good if you could have some brochures, if you could prepare some brochures, containing all of the information that you mentioned, and also your contact details. So brochure and a calling card maybe, so that you can give that to your investor and to your customer, so that they have a way to contact you again. So this applies to all of the participants in the future. You could include it in your business plan, in your financial plan, to have some marketing materials, some information materials for your product. And then of course, not just the product itself, but Tien also used the space surrounding him. So he showed the area where the cinnamon is planted. Maybe in the future, you could invite potential investors. Instead of you going to their office, if they have the time, you could invite them to your farms. You can invite them to your factory or wherever your operation is, so that you could give them a tour of your area while you are doing the pitch, because that gives an extra, I don't know, plus factor to them, to persuade them to invest or to persuade them to buy to you. Because if it's a big investor, also they'll see how you are operating, they'll see how your workers are working, and so on and so forth. So that's one thing to consider as well. And if it's a funding institution like a government, or maybe I don't know, FFF, FAO, and so on and so forth, I think they're very much interested to see, to document also good practices in farming, especially if it's involved young farmers. So it's good if you also invite them to your area, so that they can see your operation and so on, and then you can gather more support for your business. Okay, that's it for me. Tien, do you have any reaction to the feedback that are given? Of course, for the other participants, please feel free to comment as well.
Từ những cái nhận xét của các anh chị thì em rất thấy là hài lòng và cũng mong muốn là rất là cảm ơn ạ. Bởi vì là bọn em thì thực tế ra là chúng em cũng còn ở tại cơ sở này cũng còn thiếu rất là nhiều các cái vấn đề, thì từ những cái đóng góp này thì em sẽ xây dựng cái hợp tác xã cũng như là cái mấu chốt của các cái sản phẩm tiềm năng của mình sẽ ừ, được khách hàng ưa chuộng. Em cảm ơn ạ.
Thank you very much, Tian, and of course, Hong, for interpreting the pitch and the discussions. No, so again, another round of applause. Okay, so our next presenter, if I'm not mistaken, is Lau. So we'll have Lao, and then we'll have India, and I think the Philippines have another contestant. I mean, have another entry, so we can accommodate them after, since we still have some time. So now I give the floor to who's going to present in Lao. May I know? Is it Fuko Kam? Are you the one presenting?
No.
I can see that you have already unmuted yourself.
แผนของน้องก็คือเลี้ยงแบะเนาะเพราะว่าฮะเอาลูกแบบได้ยินหมดจ้ะโอเคโดยสัญญาณบ่ค่อยดีอันนี้ต่อเลยเนาะโอเคแผนของเราก็คืออยากเสนอเนาะเลี้ยงแบะใน10 แม่เบื้องต้นเขาอาจจะเลี้ยง10 แม่ก่อนแต่10 แม่นี่ปีหนึ่งมันสามารถเกิดลูกได้แม่1 ต่อ 3 ตัวด้านปีหนึ่งมันสามารถเกิดได้อยู่2 เทื่อต่อแม่1 ตัวหมายความว่าแม่1 ตัวปีหนึ่งมันจะสามารถได้6 ตัวแล้วปีที่2ลูกที่เกิดก่อนมันจะสามารถเกิดกับพ่อแม่มันได้อีกการคาดคะเนของเขาเนาะปีที่2จากแม่10 แม่เนาะสามารถออกลูกได้ประมาณ60 ตัวต่อ1 ปีใน60 ตัวนั้นเราสามารถคาดคะเนการตายน่าจะบ่ถึง5 ตัวจากแม่ที่5 ตัวหรือว่ามีการป่วยการหยังเอาเฉลี่ยเป็น6 ตัวต่อปีมันจะเหลือแม่อยู่ประมาณนั้น50 ปลายตัวดังนั้นปีที่3เขาจะคูณขึ้นไปอีกเลี้ยงแม่ภายใน3 ปีจะสามารถได้แม่ทั้งหมดอยู่ประมาณ120 ตัวมูลค่าในการลงทุนจากแม่10 ตัวเนาะเขาคิดได้เฉลี่ยเป็นประมาณ20,000และมูลค่าที่เราจะได้คืนได้รับอาจสามารถได้คืนภายใน1 ปีฉะนั้นจากต้นทุนในการลง20,000แล้วก็มูลค่าที่เราจะได้คืนคิดไล่ประมาณ40,000ทุนที่เราจะได้รับคืนนั้นมันอาจจะเป็นโอกาสที่ดีสำหรับวัยหนุ่มสาวกสิกรลาวที่บ่มีต้นทุนแล้วก็บ่มีอาชีพอันหนึ่งเนาะที่สามารถเฮ็ดให้มีแรงผลักดันในการจะเลี้ยงต่อไป และแผนอีกต่อไปอาจจะสามารถเป็นพ่อแม่พันธุ์ได้สามารถเลี้ยงเพื่อจำหน่ายพ่อแม่พันธุ์นำสู่ตลาดเนาะและมาเบิ่งขายบ่ได้ยากเลยเนาะเพราะว่าส่วนหลายอยู่ในลาวสามารถแล้วมันจะบ่เปลี่ยนสินค้าเทื่อความต้องการของตลาดอยู่ในลาวก็หลายมีห้างหลายๆห้างที่ต้องการกินแบ่ไปปิ้งแล้วมีทุกคนอยู่ในลาวส่วนหลายก็คิดว่าการเลี้ยงแบ่นี้มันบ่มีประโยชน์หลายอย่างที่จริงมันมีผลประโยชน์หลายอย่างเพราะว่าเขาจะบ่ได้เกลือมันเขามีแต่ปลูกหญ้าไว้ให้มันกินแล้วมันก็จะขยายไว้อีกในการประเมินเพราะว่าน้องเคยเลี้ยงตัวจริงในแบ่มีแต่5ตัวแล้วมันจะลดต้นทุนโอเคฉะนั้นเฮามาเบิ่งช่องทางการขายแบบนี้เนาะน้องสามารถวิเคราะห์ได้เลยว่าขายทางออนไลน์ก็จะเป็นการดีเพราะว่าถ้าเราโพสต์ขายตัวอย่างน้องอยากขายแบ่นะโพสต์ขายอยู่บ้านมีแม่ค้ามาหาและอีกอย่างเขาสามารถขายเป็นกิโลอยู่ในลาวชิ้นแบ่กิโลนึงประมาณ60,000กีบตัวนึงก็สิประมาณเฉลี่ยก็ประมาณต่ำๆก็20ปลายกิโลต่อแบ่ตัวนึงเนาะซึ่งตัวนี้น้องคิดว่ามันเป็นการดีหลายที่เขาจะลงทุนต่ำและเห็นกำไรไว้ในระยะ1 ปีโดยซึ่งสามารถคาดคะเนไปได้ฮอด3 ปีเลยว่าจะมีพ่อแม่พันธุ์แล้วก็จะมีลูกแบ่ที่แข็งแรงเพราะว่าเราเลี้ยงเองแล้วเราก็บ่ได้ไปซื้อต่อมาจากหลายๆฟาร์มเขาเป็นฟาร์มที่ผลิตเองแล้วเขาสามารถแพ็คออกขายสู่ตลาดก่อนอื่นได้อีกน้องจึงอยากเสนอแผนตัวนี้เนาะให้กับผู้ที่จะประกอบทุนในการช่วยเหลือวัยรุ่นเนาะเพราะว่าตัวนี้น้องเห็นโอกาสมันหลายแบบว่าบ่จำเป็นต้องลงทุนหลายๆเทื่อแล้วเราก็บ่ต้องได้ซื้ออาหารตัวอย่างซื้อหมูเลี้ยงหมูก็ต้องได้ซื้ออาหารให้มันกินเลี้ยงไก่เลี้ยงเป็ดเลี้ยงอีหยังหลายๆอย่างต้องได้ซื้ออาหารให้มันกินตัวนี้น้องเห็นโอกาสเพราะว่าน้องมีที่ดินและน้องก็เห็นโอกาสคนที่ว่างงานอยู่ในประเทศเลี้ยงแบ่โดยอันนั้นก็ขอขอบใจหลายๆ
Thank you very much, Fukokam. I'm not sure if I'm still pronouncing. I'm pronouncing. Vanida, you're still in the English channel. Okay, thank you. So thank you for that, Fukokam, and to Vanida for interpreting. So let's give, of course, thank you for that wonderful presentation. Now I give the floor to Dario and Leo for their comments.
Good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Leo, do you want to start this time? I always started first.
Yes. Thank you, Dario, for giving me the first cut on this.
Otherwise, I always start.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, that was a very good presentation. It looks like it's an impromptu presentation. It's full of confidence, but perhaps it's mainly, I think, addressed to possible adapters of goat racing as a project. From what I have seen in the pitch, because it's really saying the benefits of goat racing to the goat racer or the farmer. But for the markets, I think if you will be presenting it to the market, to a possible market segment, it needs a little more details for you to inform them. Perhaps what will be the difference between the normal goat, because there are different kinds of breeds of goats. There are goats that are really for meat purpose, and there are also goats primarily for milk or dairy purposes. Perhaps there should be also some mention of what kind of breed that of goat that you are recommending. In terms of the returns that you mentioned, it might be good to also present. It's really not clear whether the returns will be a gross income or the net income. It's just saying that it is 40,000. So there might be a need to have more detail on that. And also, when you are presenting also in persuading young people to go into goat farming or goat racing, perhaps what you can also include other details of goat racing, because it does not only need grass and and the stock, the initial stock, but most of the time you will also be needing some medicines or biologics, or maybe some vaccination, as well as housing. There may be a need for a kind of housing for this particular goats. From my experience, there should be some kind of a place for the goats where they can go in during the night. And particularly here in the Philippines, I'm here in the Philippines, native goats are very prone to having colds. So I think there is a need for a good housing. So perhaps what you can do is really go into the details of how much will be the cost involved, not just relying on the stock, the initial stock, and how much will be, how many will be the possible offspring. It's good that you mentioned the mortality, but there might be other cost items that you should consider. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Leo. Thank you very much. Yeah, I fully agree. It was a very good presentation with the key information. Yeah, there is need of clarification. I again one more agree with Leo. For instance, it was good to give financial figures about the return in 1 year. More precise data would help to let those who are listening the precision of this calculation and this statement. But in terms of strategy of the presentation, it is very good to state clearly that in the first year already we have a positive return on the investment. At least we equal. I understood. So I understood 40,000 gain the first year and $20,000 the investment cost. Leo said, well, we need to clarify those 40,000 if it is a net gain or a gross gain. Interesting to mention online sales as possibility for the market. Always the market, as you remember from the webinars, is the key starting point of the presentation and of our business plan. So it is very good to mention, and perhaps some more details can be given on that. By the way, thank you very much. It was a very good presentation.
Thank you very much, Leo and Dario. Next time I will go first too. But while Dario and Leo were talking, I was thinking about how, of course, first, thank you very much, Wokokam, for the very good pitch. I think what I got from her pitch was that she has the credibility, meaning to say that when she was talking about goat raising, goat production, when you hear her speak, when you hear her voice, you know that it's something that she has a lot of experience on. So an investor or a customer will not doubt that she could raise goats once she has the resources to do so. So that's very good. Of course, we have to have, all of you has the experience to back up your enterprise or your products. But I think what also exudes or what gives a level of credibility to you is also the way you speak and the way you form your thoughts and deliver your pitch. So again, always practice in front of the mirror, in front of your friends and your colleagues, so that you can hone that credibility, you could hone that delivery. But since I agree with Leo, I think I think it looked, I think it was an impromptu pitch. So I just want to give like some sort of tip to the, I'm not sure if you could see my screen. Yeah, some sort of tip to you guys when you are trying to structure your pitch, especially if it's an elevator pitch or a really, really short pitch. Okay, so this is an example of how you could better structure the flow of your pitch. First, you discuss what is your product or service. So in the case of Lao, they said that they're raising goats, etc. Who is the market? Who is the market for the goats? 3, what is your revenue model? So that's where you discuss the specifics of the production cycle, of how much the inputs will be, how much the revenue will be, and then maybe here you could also discuss what differentiates it from pig racing or chicken racing. I think she mentioned that in terms of the food, goats can thrive on grass, whereas pigs and chicken, you have to prepare a separate feed or you have to buy feeds from them, and so on. And then 4th is who is behind the company or who is behind the enterprise. That's when you make the presentation that this business, this goat raising enterprise, is actually led by young farmers from Lao, from your community, and so on. So so that gives an idea to your investor, to your client, that they're not just buying good goat products. I'm not sure what goat. I obviously do not have an idea of what. So they're not just buying goat products, but they're also, if they buy your products, they're also supporting young farmers from this and this region, and so on and so forth. And then 5th, who is your competition? So you say that this cooperative or this big company is also raising goats, but the difference of our product, your competitive advantage, is that our goats are, I don't know, what's that, maybe organic, and so on, compared to the or free range. I obviously do not know how to raise goats, but essentially you could end your pitch by discussing what your competitive advantage is against your competition. And I would actually write the last part, which is, just an ending sentence or an ending statement wherein you say that you encourage your investor or you encourage your customer to buy or invest in your product. So yeah, so that's it for me. So maybe Fukokam or the rest of the Lao group has some reaction to the feedback that was given. If none, we can move on to the next presenter. I hope that Krishna is, Krishna from India. As Focalcom, please take the floor.
การคอมเมนต์ที่ดีหลายเนาะจากทีมงานอาจารย์แล้วน้องก็สิเอาไปปรับปรุงเพื่อเขียนแผนในต่อไปว่าเราต้องมีการไล่เรียงออกมาให้ละเอียดต้องรวบรายรับรายจ่ายต้องส่งตัดตารางอีหยังเป็นแผนละเอียดก็ขอบใจทางอาจารย์แล้วก็เรื่องอย่าง อ่านชื่อบ่เป็นขอบใจหลายๆ
Thank you very much. Of course, as I said a while ago, you don't have to prepare a PowerPoint presentation, but in the future, once you're really in front, once you're face to face with your customer or your investor, it would be good to have some maybe brochure or some, a 2-page document with the tables and the calculation and other information hidden. All right, so now we move on to India. So Krishna, I would like to give the floor to you. Please take it away. Krishna, are you there? Krishna, I think, I'm not sure if Krishna is present. So maybe if it's okay with everyone, we could just return back to India. We can just return back to India and then give the floor to another presenter from the Philippines. They're requesting if they can do a pitch because they prepared for it. So I think Mel will be delivering it. Mel?
Hello. Do you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Can you share my screen?
You will.
No. Can you share the PowerPoint? Sorry.
Okay. Ano ba ito? Slideshow.
Slideshow mo na lang.
Ayan.
Hello everyone. I'm Mel from Pakisama, and this is the business idea of the Golden Parauma Agriculture Cooperative Young Farmer. So Jumer, the one leading the young farmer. So they call their business idea Freelink. Next slide. So Freelink means Forest Resources Eco Enterprise. So it means that it's a youth-led business that will cater small farmers' needs, especially in marketing, naturally grown, agri, fishery, and forestry products. So the AFF. Also, it will aid family farmers in dealing with their farm problems like seedlings availability and procurement, and empowers youth and women in agricultural sector while conserving our natural environment. Aside from marketing concern, we'll improve our back of farm and enable to demonstrate to local farmers and cooperative members that there's economy and advocacy. Next slide, please. In short, Freelink tackles complete value chain of forest-based food and non-timber products because we are into value adding by the fact that we are members of the Golden Parauma Agriculture Cooperative or GPAC with existing shared service facility for food processing. In terms of non-timber goods, we have potential partners in handicrafts and furniture making. Next slide. Freelink is the dream enterprise of the agripreneur, especially for the youth, to market forest-based products of local markets in a reasonable price and bridge the gap between local producers and consumers through Freelink. No waste, complete value chain. No waste of time and other resources. It will be benefited by 114 cooperative members, especially more or less 20 active youth members. It will open doors also to non-member youth in the farm community in production, post-harvesting, mobilization, and processing. We will use integrated diversified organic farming system or the IDOPS In promotion, and marketing, we will use Facebook and other social media platforms for easy access to all target market. Next, good food quality products, eco solutions, free taste for food products, free crops for non-food products. That's all. Thank you. I think what is missing here is the projected financial projected financial projection of this business idea. So I will, Jumer will do that, and we will send this to Maylene and Dario. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Mel. Actually, for the information of everyone, so that presentation or the script was actually prepared by Jumer, one of our young farmers in the Philippines, who is a member of the Golden Parauma cooperative. So unfortunately, his internet connection is not good. He's been dropping off and logging in this meeting. So he just sent the script to Mel. So of course, because of that, we can't really comment on his delivery of the pitch, but we can just comment on the content or the
Yes.
scope of the pitch.
Maybe the
Okay.
content.
Yes. So I think well, for me, the pitch is a bit different from other pitches that we've heard, because in the other pitches that we've heard, its focus is on the product. It's on the product that is being produced by the enterprise. But this one, essentially, what Jumer is presenting is the whole cooperative or the whole enterprise itself. So it's good because it's one, the objectives of the enterprise is very clear, its composition as well as its objectives. And when he or she mentioned about the objectives, it's not just the economic but also the environmental and social impacts of their cooperative or their enterprise. So what can be done to improve it? I think number one would be a discussion of what these products are. So I think it was mentioned that there are food products, there are non-timber products, handicrafts, etc. But it would be good to specify what those are. So if it's a handicraft, are these baskets, rugs made of, I don't know, rugs made of recycled whatever, and so on. If it's a food product, is it jam made of the apples and mangoes harvested by the agricultural cooperative, and so on and so forth. So that has to be clear so that the investor or the client has an idea about the range of products that you have in the market, as well as what sets it apart also, because there are tons of jams, there are tons of baskets in the market already, and so on. And then the second one is, of course, although it's only a 5-minute pitch, if the audience is an investor, the question is, what do you want the investor to do after the pitch? So the previous pitches, they said, for example, Joy said that they're asking for a loan or they're asking for a grant of 50,000 pesos or $1,000 US. And with the money that they will give the enterprise, or they will be able to return that money in a span of etc., several months and so on. So I think what's missing is the call to action. What action do you want your listener to do based on your pitch? And yeah, that's it for me. I'm not sure if I made sense, but I am giving the floor to Dario and Leo to add on it. Thank you.
Dario, do you want to go first?
Thank you. I can. Thank you very much. Yes, I agree with Milin. Very, very good presentation. Interesting, the focus, the larger focus, the product as part of a group, of an enterprise, of a cooperative, the product as a result of the process. You gave much focus on the process, organic, and that is definitely a good point. my suggestion, which is general for all those who want to use slides, is probably to use the last slide to develop an initial catching statement, just to keep the attention on which you can elaborate during the speech. Then in each slide, summarizing each slide with an highlight. You have not to read the highlight. You have to present as you did. But keeping the highlight in the slide would probably help those who are listening to get more oriented in the written part and your speech. And yes, definitely concluding and adapting the current last slide with those short conclusion, summary, with the request, what you want to achieve, what is your aim, what is your goal, what is your request to for instance, an investor, if we are talking to an investor. These are my brief suggestions. You already mentioned that some financial economic figures are missing. Yes, that would be very synthetic. I wrote in the chat a recommendation. We don't need many figures. I liked in the first presentation the entire chart of our, say, financial and economic business plan, but that perhaps is too much at that level. You can prepare a folder with some document to give to the people you are talking, but in the slides, probably the key figures, the income, the cost, the investments, the return of investment, some financial calculations that you can add, just that is just in terms of dimension, but a lot in terms of elaboration, but that will be probably more effective. So thank you very much. Very nice and very good everything, the slides and the presentation.
Thank you, Dario. My turn now. It's actually a very good and very crisp presentation. For an image, institutional image building, I hope I get it, the term right, presentation. But like what, it's very useful in the first, once you now formulate a pitch, perhaps just an advice, to really first focus on who you will be giving the pitch to and what will be your objectives of the pitch. For an image building purpose, and perhaps maybe to investors, this is a good, I think this is a good presentation. The content is good. But also, like what Mylene said, there is a need to put at the end what do you want, the presentations have a purpose. Again, you now have to, before doing a presentation, have your objectives, identify your audience, what will make your presentations click with the audience, so to speak, with the audience, and what do you want the audience to do after the presentation. And like what Dario said, there should be an interest building ending, so that discussions can be made even after this. This is not a one-off thing that you will be doing. You would like to create interest, and the conversation should go on until you get what your objectives are. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you very much, Leah.
Thank you very much, Dario and Leo. Mel, maybe on behalf of Zoomer and the rest of the Philippine team, you have some reactions on the comments that are given?
Thank you, Mylene, Dario, and Leo for the comments. So I will cascade that with the young farmers of JIPAC. So thank you very much. It's really useful comments so that they can further improve their business plan. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that, Mel. I'm not okay, I think Krishna has already dropped from the call. She has been dropping in, I mean, she is a bit in and out in the discussion, so I'm not sure whether the India participants can still present. And also, we have a a participant from Cambodia here, Singla. So Singla, are you comfortable to also do the pitch? Did Vuti prepare you for the pitch or no?
Well, if not, they like for India, Melina collect their materials and send it for a last review and comments.
Yes, I agree. So
For
actually,
sure, India and Cambodia as well.
yeah, I think the business plan that you just reviewed is from Singla. It's just that I don't think she can do the pitch because we don't have a Khmer interpreter right now.
Yeah, there is lack of interpreter. I was looking.
Yeah. So in that regard, that actually all of our countries have already presented. So that's essentially the end of the pitch. So I would like to congratulate everyone for attending today and taking the challenge of doing the pitch. I know that
Thank you very much.
it might be out of your comfort zone, but this is I hope that this has been a good learning opportunity for everyone. So actually, we're supposed to circulate information about the Young Farmer Enterprise Challenge Fund today. But since there are not a lot of participants right now, we're just going to do that via email once it has also been reviewed internally within AFA. But essentially, for the information of everyone, AFA, and with the support of FFF, or the Forest and Farm Facility, has a tiny budget that it could extend to young farmers in the 10 countries that are involved in this project. So again, any information about that fund will be circulated to the email. So please contact we will be sending that information to your focal points, FO focal points, in the very, very near future, hopefully next week. So that, if there are no more comments or feedback, this officially ends the regional. Oh, okay. We have a comment from Christina is raising her hand. Yes, Christina.
Ay, hindi po Miss Mylene kasi nalag po si Miss Mel, may ipipresent pa po sana akong business proposal kaya lang hindi ko siya fully ma-translate sa English.
Okay.
Kaya lang
okay.
i-translate sana ni Mylene, kaya lang naglag siya daw, na out siya.
Yes, oo, nalaglag.
Pwede
Pero
ba?
nandito na siya nalaglag. Actually, nandito na pa si Mel. Nandito pa si Mel. Mel? Or baka nalaglag din talaga siya. If that's the case, can I be the interpreter? Okay.
I-explain ko lang po Miss Mylene yung business proposal na nagawa ko.
Of course. So okay. So we cannot assign.
Wala pa akong magamit na laptop sa presentation eh.
It's okay. So Dario, Leo, and the rest of the participants, another young farmer from the Philippines also prepared a pitch. Unfortunately, Mel. Hello, Mel. Mel has dropped.
Hello.
Ayan. Mel, can I assign you as an interpreter while Christina is talking?
Sure, but can I share the screen?
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
I'll make you a co-host.
Yes, please. So I will just share the screen of share the document of Christina. Actually, this is the one that she sent to me. It's about tilapia culture and fun. So Christina will just present This is the picture. So, Ate Christina, sige, go.
Saglit lang, Mel. Hindi pa naglo-load yung hindi pa
Yes.
naglo-load yung
Not yet. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So kailangan pa ba ng interpretation dito, Mel, or nakasulat na nakascript to?
Actually, ito, may English ano siya. So, I will just add. Okay lang?
Oo, sige. So salitan na lang kayong magsalita. Okay
Sige.
lang.
Anyway,
Okay,
go.
so sorry for speaking in Tagalog, but essentially, what will happen is that Christina from the Philippines would also like to share her pitch for their enterprise. So she will be speaking in Tagalog, but you can see here in the screen the English version of her pitch. And then from time to time, Mel will also interject so that she could further translate Christina's pitch. So obviously we might exceed 5 minutes. Okay, without further ado, I'm giving the floor to Christina.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon sa lahat. Ako po si Christina sa
Hello? I can't hear Christina.
I can't hear her too.
lalakasin. Magandang hapon ulit sa lahat. Ang business proposal na ginawa po namin ay production ng fingerling ng tilapia sa fish pan lang po. Kaya ito ang na-present ko na business proposal kasi ito yung nakikita kung wala akong kakompetensya dito sa malapit sa amin at kunti ang kapital pero malaki yung balik na kunti yung kapital pero malaki ang balik na ano ba tawag? Nabentahan o income, malaki ang income. Malaki ang income sa pagpo-produce ng fingerling ng tilapia lalo na dito sa aming lugar kasi wala ditong nagpo-produce ng fingerling. Kumukuha lang kami sa Kamsor pero malayo sa amin. Kaya ito yung isipan namin na gawin na negosyo. Kasi yung mga farmer ng fish farmer dito ng mga tilapia, para sa amin na bumili, hindi na sila kukuha dun sa malayong bayan. Tilapia production kasi ito yung friendly environment siya at malaki yung naitutulong sa mga katulad namin na mahirap na makadagdag ng income sa amin. At tilapia production kasi maraming product na maaaring i-process sa kanya. At tilapia production kasi maraming yung magiging beneficiary o madami ang magbe-benefit dito na malapit sa amin kasi yung mga farmer ng fish pond dito, yung nagko-culture ng mga tilapia na binibenta sa palengke, hindi sila makaproduce ng product na palaging maibenta sa palengke kasi hindi sila makakuha ng pangpalit na semilya doon sa tilapia na inaalagaan nila. Kailangan pa nilang palakihin yun, paanakin. Pero yung pangalawang cycle ng anak ng tilapia, hindi na siya maganda pang market. Kaya bumibili pa rin sila sa malayo. Ang unang magbibenepisyo ng aming produkto ay yung katulad ko na yung farmer na nag-start pa lang siyang bumuo ng kanyang fish farm. At ito yung hinihiling namin business kasi ito yung madaling itayo dito sa amin kasi yung tubig madaling makuha kasi malapit kami sa ilog pero malayo naman kami sa dagat kaya halos wala siyang kakompetensya na marine fish na may dadala o may ma-market sa market kasi yung dagat namin hindi siya profitable sa pagkukuhanan ng mga isda sa dagat. Kumbaga bili kami ng isda sa dagat pero malayo pa rin. Pero kung may tilapia kami, yun yung mga parang pangunahing produkto na papakilala namin dito sa aming probinsya o sa aming bayan. At sa ibang lugar syempre. Tapos sa pagbibenta naman, pwede kaming gumawa ng isang page sa social media upang ipakilala ang aming produkto at upang maialok sa mga nagpifish farm. If successful ang naging business namin ng fingerling, maaari kaming mag-expand kung ano pang product ang maaaring magawa sa tilapia. Ang tilapia ay maaaring magawing food process tulad ng crawfish o chicharon. Yung balat niya, pag malalaki na yung tilapia, maaaring gawing chicharon. O yung meat naman niya, maaari namang gawin siyang crawfish. Yun lang po. Salamat.
Thank you. Wow, thank you, Mylene. Real time.
I'm sorry if I'm translating everything correctly. I don't know what the English of it is.
Thank you, Mylene.
So maybe you
basically-
can just quickly run over what Christina said so that, yeah.
Yes. So thank you everyone for staying and for listening to Christina's business speech. So basically, they want to focus on tilapia culture in Pan. So she said that they selected the enterprise because they don't see competition in their area. And it does not require huge capital, but it will generate more increased income to them as young farmers organizations. So since no one produces in their area, so I will just read my name. I forget the other details. No one produces fingerlings in their area. Most sellers have to import from other provinces. Their customers. So basically, their customer can really come from the community, from their community and Sorsogon. And far from the sea, there's no competition. So that's the advantage of their business. So in terms of promotion, so they can promote their their business by creating social media page and to market their potential buyer customers and to attract also other stakeholders engage in that kind of fish culture through fund. And if they will succeed in that venture, they will provide the value adding, which is processing other products like fish chicharon. We call that propek, right, Mylene? And other processed products, snacks. If they will succeed in that kind of business engagement.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, for those who do not know chicharon, essentially I think it's the meat of the fish that you
Deep fry.
and then
It's crunchy.
it becomes crunchy like a chip and so
Yeah,
on.
it's mostly the skin.
So thank you
It's mostly
very
the
much,
skin.
Tin and Mel, for that pitch, and thank you very much to myself.
Thank you, Mylene,
For
for
translating it. Okay, now we give the floor to Dario and Leo for maybe Leo can go first because
Yeah.
he understood the
Yeah, he
original.
understood very well.
And my wife is also from
I think 3
Sorsogon.
times to be ahead of him. Therefore, we have to
Yeah, yes.
almost rise now.
Yes, thank you, Dario. It's good because my wife is also from Sorsogon in Matnog. And
I
like
can't seem
your,
to hear, or
yeah, is it,
is it just my internet?
They came from
Hello.
Santa
Okay.
Magdalena, sir. Santa Magdalena, Sorsogon.
Santa Magdalena. Can you hear me? Can you hear me
Yes,
well?
yes.
Yeah, okay. How about you, Mylene?
Can
you hear me now?
everyone hear Leo, or
We hear him.
okay, so the
Yes.
problem is with me.
Mhm. Can I continue, Mylene?
Yes, go ahead. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, sorry for that. Actually, first of all, I would like to congratulate Christina for her persistence because we were about to close the session and she really insisted that she will be. I think that's a good quality or character of an entrepreneur. Never say never, never say no, never accept no for an answer. And I like the justification of the of the farm of the project, because it really defined the reasons why there was a need and the advantage of having it in their particular area. What she is trying to, the project, as I understood it, is for the production of tilapia fingerlings, not the full-grown tilapia. It's only for the fingerlings because they found out that the tilapia raisers in the area get their fingerlings from a far town. So there is really and there may be really a market for your product. And it's really in terms of you mentioned low capital, then no competition. I think that is really justifiable. Compared to tilapia rearing in a pond, in a big pond, fattening it and then making it grow to marketable size. This one entails a lesser cost than a pond raising, tilapia raising venture. What I just want to point out that tilapia fingerling production may be a bit technology not intensive, but there may be some kind of technology that you will have to know, and you have to get perhaps from government institutions. And as far as I know tilapia, because I've been with the fishery project before, you need a hapa there where you will now it's a small small net to put in all the fries, the fingerlings, and let it grow to fingerling size. You also have to now determine your how your prices will be compared to the customary sources. You now have to determine what will be the pricing that you will have, considering that they get it from the others. So your pricing should be competitive. And also, again, also related to the technology, the source of your parent fish. I think it's a very, very important thing, the parent material for the fish. There may be some good variants of tilapia that may be good for your particular area and also for your particular market. Again, it's also good that you are already thinking of possible future enterprises that can help your community, like the chicharon and all other the other products, value-added products for tilapia. Again, it's good. That's one of the good major characteristics that an entrepreneur should have. Always be persistent. Never accept failure, but always get up, stand up. Okay. Thank you. Back to you, Dario. Now to you, Dario.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Leo. And thank you very much for the presentation. I saw the business plan before, so I was already partially familiar with your proposal, which is good. You did well by starting in highlighting that there is no much competition or no competition at all in that sector. My recommendation, therefore, is, as you in practice present your business as a leader in this sector, make some analysis on how you want to keep this leadership and whether you expect the competitors will will enter, because if it is, as we say, a profitable business, relatively easy to do, well, the question that everyone listening to you would be why others have not done the same, and probably others will do that as soon as you see you. Therefore, you are the leader. Explain how you want to keep this leadership. Another issue is but another element is to clarify more your outputs line, because complementing what Leo was saying, it seems that you are working on fingerlings, but then in the end you talk about value-added products, processed products, which come probably from a different raw material. Therefore, explain more on that, not to leave doubts on what are your precise and outputs of the business. Fingerlings, sure. Other products, how they come into your business, and what is the technology, as Leo suggested in general, which technology you need. Just these are my suggestions. Cristina.
Thank you very much, Leo and Dario. Maybe Leo and Dario have already shared some tips. So I think if this will be the first time for Christina and her group to grow, or I'm not sure, to build this enterprise. So I can't say grow. You don't grow tilapia, but I was just searching in Facebook and type tilapia farmers group. So Christina, I think there are many groups available on Facebook. So there is Tilapia Farming Philippines, Tilapia Farming Group. So maybe you could join them. Of course, you could, so that you'll have also mentors. You'll have mentors that could help you with some of your questions, day-to-day operations of your business, and so on and so forth. Aside from, of course, tapping your local government agencies or national government agencies for support. I'm sure that they have trainings on tilapia cultivation, or maybe they could provide the initial fingerlings or the initial inputs for your business. So that's not really a comment on the pitch, but a comment on the enterprise in general. So now, Christina, what do you think? Do you have any reactions to the comments and suggestions?
Actually po, before ko po mapasa yung business, nag-research din po ako at nagtanong-tanong din po ako doon sa diin namin, kasi may doon, fish technician siya ng tilapia na nagbibigay sa amin ng fingerling dito para ma-produce namin as yung palakihin na isda para idala sa market. Kaso pag kaubos nung inani namin, wala nang fingerling na dumarating kasi minsan doon sa pinagkukuhanan niya wala ring maibigay. So kaya yun yung pinaka naisip namin na gawing business na fingerling, kasi wala ngang nagpo-produce dito. Tama si Sir nakalimutan ko yung pangalan. Si Sir Leo na dapat i-compare ko yung price namin doon sa iba. Actually, yung price namin maaari naming maibenta ng mas mababa kaysa doon sa nagbibigay sa amin dito ng mga similya. At saka parang yung mangkikinabang dito ng mga fish farmer, hindi na sila magpapamasahe papunta doon sa ibang bayan kasi mas malapit yung sa amin.
Okay, so thank you for that, Christina. I'm just translating it. I'm not sure if I translated it well because I'm not really familiar with tilapia cultivation. But what she essentially said was that before they developed the business plan, actually they consulted the fish technician from the local Department of Agriculture in their area. And that fish technician is usually the source of fingerlings for tilapia that they eventually grow and sell in the market. However, the supply of fingerlings from the Department of Agriculture is inconsistent. So that made them have the idea to be the ones to to be the ones to grow to grow the fingerlings that they can then sell to the people in their area, so that they don't have to rely on the inconsistent supply of the Department of Agriculture. So she said that she agrees with Leo's suggestion to also do the analysis on the comparison of the price between the fingerlings that are being sold by the Department of Agriculture and the price that they will set for the fingerlings that they, the cooperative or the young farmers group will also produce. Key. I hope that I translated it well. It's hard to find the right verbs and the right words when you're not familiar with that activity. So are there any more comments, suggestions, questions? There is a comment from Mel. Please take note also the certain technology needed for the tilapia culture. Thank you very much for that, Mel. Are there other comments, questions, suggestions from other participants? Or are there other people who want to present or to pitch? Going once, going twice. That's it. Okay, so that's the end of our pitching exercise. I hope that it has been a good learning activity for us. And to formally close our regional webinar, I'm giving the floor to Jumer, the chairperson of the Regional Young Farmers Committee, as well, but he's not here because of intermittent internet connection. So Mel of Pakisama will be reading
Yes.
Jumer's closing message.
Hello again, everyone. So on behalf of Jumer, I will read his speech. So he sent this via messenger. So in behalf of AFA Regional Young Farmers Committee, I would like to say good day and congratulations to AFA, Maylene, Dario, the FFF, and the young farmers, agripreneurs all over Asia. As a fellow young farmer, I am encouraging you to continue your existing or start up agri-fishery or forest-based enterprises. Keep on practicing skills, what you have learned in farming and in business planning. Just focus on what is life-giving. Every time you decide on things, you just put in mind first the essence of what you are doing right now. Being a youth in agriculture is a real calling. Difficulties in doing our job is just a preparatory process for our awaited success. We need to produce more healthy food and able to address the alarming food crisis and malnutrition of the populace. Dear young farmers of Asia, we need your brave heart in pursuing agriculture out of challenges. Then your innovative minds to accomplish new milestones in our sector to produce food for our consumers. Yes, there is uncertainty due to pandemic, economical, and climate crisis. But this is our prime duty to create food for hungry people. Your contribution in the world is a heroic act that gives life to earth and the people. Chin up, be proud of being a young farmer of Asia. Long live young farmers, mabuhay. Thank you on behalf of Jumer.
Thank you very much, Mel and Jumer. Please send our regards to Jumer and of course for his never-ending support and participation as the RYFC chairperson. I would also like to ask Dario perhaps to say, some closing remarks to our participants, although we're only 14 here, but we're going to share the recordings to the rest later.
Thank you, Milene. Very, very short final remarks after 2 months of work together. Well, we made a good work. We covered the subject that we wanted. From the training point of view, we reached the objectives. I see that the business plan are progressively improving. that there are still elements to analyze, to work on it, like, for instance, the preparation of the SWOT is something where we still have weaknesses. So in all the business plan that we have reviewed with Leo and Juni, we have stressed the need of having a clear SWOT analysis. Clear means clear in terms of the inputs and clear in terms of their categorization to provide for a good further analysis. These are the technicalities that we will improve and you will improve step by step. Keep your training materials with you as a guidance, as a booklet for you in your activity. And most important, as also Juma was saying, keep on with the business plan or the strategies that you have developed to achieve the results that are there. As Eileen was saying, this is the last event of this training, but AFA remains, I remains, therefore you can always address comments, requests to the association, and I will be happy to help you and the association on progressing in your activity, because I fully agree with the Jumer's statement that we have to work to produce food for hungry people. That is our main goal as farmers in general and young farmers. So I fully agree with that, and I am happy to support you in this process. Thank you very much for your participation, and your contribution.
Thank you very much, Dario. And I guess just a quick remarks from me. I would like to thank Dario. Without him, this regional webinar will not be possible. It took quite a while for AFA to find the right trainer for this. And we would like to thank Dario and to send him our appreciation, because he took on the challenge of doing this webinar and really helping us. What he has done is beyond what we have initially discussed, and he has been always willing to extend help to everyone, to all of the young farmers. So yeah, thank you very much, Dario. Thank you very much as well to Leo and to Junie for their very wonderful comments and suggestions during the coaching session. They have been really hands-on in terms of reviewing, reviewing the business plans during the coaching sessions, and really that expertise is very much needed in our activity. And of course, thank you very much to all of the farmer organizations who are part of this project. We have 10. I won't enumerate them anymore. So thank you very much for assisting in the coordination, the interpretation. Thank you very much to our interpreters. They make sure that this learning activity is made possible, given that we have 10 languages working at a time. So thank you very much. And of course, last but definitely not the least, thank you to our young farmer participants for their patience, for their time, for their fortitude in listening to this 3 to sometimes 4-hour webinars. I'm sure that you are very busy in your farms, in your studies, and so on. But I see that you are very much dedicated in really building your enterprise, expanding your enterprise, and it's really a huge challenge. As Jumer said, that this is a heroic act. You're not just doing it to as an income, but you play a very valuable role in our society, in your countries, and in the global food system. So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say this, but this is actually the last activity that I will be hosting in AFA. I have I'm sadly leaving the organization. I have resigned from my position. So there will be a new Young Farmers Agenda Coordinator. We will introduce her soon via email. But of course, I will always be supporting the Young Farmers Agenda of the organization, the Young Farmers role in agriculture. So you have my personal Gmail, I think. So if you have any questions, especially, I'm not sure if I have anything useful to say when it comes to the business plans, but if you have any questions, if you need any contacts and so on, or if you need anything, just feel free to send me an email. So that's the end of our webinar. Thank you very much. Maybe we could, if we could just turn on our videos one last time for the photo op. Okay. Even if we're just a few people remaining, you could just turn on your videos. Okay. Okay. All right. So 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. All right. So that is the end of the webinar. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Eileen, can you stay just 1
Yes,
minute?
yes.
Thank you.
Okay, let me just remove the other people. Remove. All right, there. Let
So
me
thank
just
you very
turn on
much.